Hi there, welcome to my views and news. Four news stories. Before that, an announcement. After less than an hour, I'll be back with this week's second live chat. Looking forward to see you with your questions and comments. Four news stories. First one is about the election in Ethiopia, general election. New amendments are being proposed by the National Election Board of Ethiopia about the reasons which could lead to the delay, the not the delay, postponement of election in some specific areas. Could the new amendments be used by the government to postpone election where the government, the ruling Prosperity Party, does not have support? Secondly, was Tigray Islamic Affairs Supreme Council has announced to protest next week in Mekelle. Public protest. Will Tigray government allow Muslim organization to protest at Ramanath Square in Mekelle? Thirdly, viewers, TikTok is going to be banned in the US from tomorrow. Any chance of reversal of the decision? And lastly, rapid support forces of Sudanese General Hamdan Dagalo have conducted drone strikes in Gedaref and in Sennar, reportedly, towards Ethiopian border, towards Eritrean border. It has been trying to keep RSF away from its borders, but long power outages are being reported in Kassala, in Gedaref, because of the drone strikes being conducted by RSF reportedly. Let's start, viewers. Firstly, National Election Board of Ethiopia is making preparations for next election. I said a few weeks ago that election campaign has begun in Ethiopia or outside Ethiopia. And people back then made fun of me. They said, Sajid, you just make up stories. You don't know Ethiopian politics. You're an outsider. Election is more than a year away. No one is thinking about election. And you just talk about Joar launching an election campaign, leaders returning for election. Well, politicians think ahead. Political parties think ahead. Elections are not held in a day. Elections are planned. Parties plan elections way before the date of the election. So if anyone is sleeping now, he's not a politician. If any party is sleeping now, that is not a political party. Parties always prepare in advance. A year is not a long time, by the way, to make preparations for holding election. Especially when Nebbe is proposing some key amendments to the way elections are held in Ethiopia. Nebbe is the body which conducts elections in Ethiopian National Election Board of Ethiopia. Nebbe is holding discussions. Now it is proposing that the House of Federation members should also be elected by the people. Interesting proposal. I think House of Federation members are nominated by regional assemblies. If I'm not wrong, I am not a constitutional expert, but House of People representative members are elected by the people through direct election, and House of Federation members are nominated by the regional assemblies. Nebe wants House of Federation members to be elected by the people as well. Interesting. Generally, the upper house of parliament is not elected. It does not happen in most democracies of the world. Second amendment, which Nebe is proposing, could be used by the government to postpone, to delay elections where government is facing opposition. Nebe has proposed that three factors should be incorporated into the law, which could be the reasons behind postponement of election. Three factors. Firstly, natural disasters. If an area has been hit by natural disaster, election, uh, NABE should have the authority to postpone election there. Secondly, disease. If epidemic, a pandemic breaks out in an area, obviously, NABE should be authorized to postpone election. Thirdly, third point is important, security. There are security issues in an area, NABE should be authorized to postpone election in that. This third point is crucial, views. It means in any part of the country where there are security issues, election could be postponed. In entire Amhara region, there are security issues, fighting, attacks on Prosperity Party members, attacks on ENDF in Valaga, other parts of Oromia. There is deteriorating security situation. So in these areas, NABE could postpone election. And in these areas, zones, regional states, Prosperity Party does not have huge support. This provision, if it is passed, could be used by the government to postpone elections where armed groups are fighting, where opposition parties are strong. While the key amendments are being discussed, I don't know if NABE is holding discussions with all the political parties or not. Is TPLF part of discussions? TPLF ruled for decades. Now it's split. It's not a recognized entity, though it was registered by NABE a few months ago, but it is not agreeing to hold a Congress. So far, it is not entitled, it is not eligible to contest an election. OFC says its offices are being closed. OLF's office closed. ONLF boycotting national dialogue. OFC boycotting national dialogue. OLF as well. So who is finalizing these amendments? If amendments are passed by this assembly, it means that government will use the amendment to its advantage. That is why I've been saying for so many days that political parties should wake up. Politicians should wake up. This is the time to start. Politicians should start early. They should not let this election be stolen by Prosperity Party, by ruling party, by the PM. PM almost got himself elected unopposed in 2021. This time opposition should challenge the Prime Minister. This is the right of Ethiopian political parties to demand level playing field from the government. But unity in opposition is missing and government backed. I would say government backed. NABE is not independent. These parties, opposition parties, should demand total independence of NABE. They should be part of discussion. They should not boycott these discussions being held by NABE. Otherwise, government will have amendments of its choice passed, proposed by NABE, passed by the parliament. Opposition should step in. If it is not being invited to the talks by NABE, at least it should come at the front. It should talk to the media, whether it's based in Ethiopia or abroad. It should speak now, tell the people, tell the international community how the next election is going to be held in Ethiopia. Secondly, viewers, Tigray Islamic Affairs Supreme Council has announced that on Tuesday it will protest. Protest is definitely about the issue ongoing in Aksum, where female students are not being allowed to join the schools because they wear hijab. 5 schools in Aksum ban female students from wearing hijab, saying that this is a violation of schools' dress code. Islamic Affairs Council took the matter to a court in Aksum. Aksum Wareda Court suspended the decision of the school authorities asking the female students to wear hijab and join the studies until the case is finalized, but still the students are not being allowed to join the school. Tigray Education Affairs Bureau issued a statement. It backed students' position too, but students still out of school. Over 100 female students. Now, Tigray Islamic Council has announced to protest. On Tuesday, it will protest. It is asking Muslim community, asking civil society, political parties, NGOs, etc., to participate in Tuesday protest. It will be held at Romanoth Square in Mekelle city, where IDPs held a protest 2 days ago, 3 days ago rather. Will Muslims be allowed to protest at Romanoth Square in Mekelle or not? This is the question. And could there be intervention before Tuesday to solve this issue? There should be an intervention. People have been saying, Sajid, you are highlighting this issue. Now you see, Muslims are going to protest in Mekelle on Tuesday. I knew the gravity of the situation. Muslims are not a minority in Ethiopia. It's not a small group in Ethiopia. They have huge population in Ethiopia. So such decisions cannot be imposed on them. That will have national consequences. For Tigray, for Tigrayan Muslim relations, it is not a small issue. It should be handled in a mature manner by Tigrayan politicians and Tigray security officials. Let's see. Third was, is TikTok going to be banned in the US? It seems from tomorrow, TikTok will be banned. TikTok is a Chinese social media application used by billions of people across the world. US Supreme Court banned TikTok in the US. Ban will take effect tomorrow unless there is intervention by the government. Joe Biden can issue some directive, I think. But so far, directive has not been issued by the president. So TikTok is set to be banned in the US from tomorrow. US Supreme Court announced that new users won't be able to use TikTok. Those who have TikTok installed, they'll continue having access to TikTok. But TikTok company has announced that it will totally discontinue its services in the US tomorrow if the ban is not lifted, or if the ban is implemented by the government. This is a war between China and the US, which will intensify, by the way. It's strange, by the way. We people use apps, websites, which are based in the US. This crypto business is mainly based in the US. US companies have huge interests, huge investments. So when money enters US from rest of the world, no problem. But when money flows out of the US to other countries, then it's a problem for the US government. I think this rivalry, this fight between US and China will intensify under Trump administration. Trump will be soft on Russia, but hard on China. He's a businessman. He wants to squeeze China. He wants to hit Chinese economic interests in the US and in other parts of the world. Lastly, was rapid support forces have conducted drone strikes for the first time, where close to Ethiopian Eritrean borders. Not close to, but in Gedaref, the drone strikes were conducted. Al-Shok power station was hit, and it has led to huge power outage in Gedaref and Kassala. Sinnar was also hit, reportedly. RSF have drones. I think they have quality combat drones because UAE is backing them. UAE is known for having Chinese wing-long drones. UAE gave the drones to the Ethiopian government during 2-year-long Tigray war. The same drone being used by the Rapid Support Force against Sudanese military. Now, RSF are attacking civilian installations. They attacked a power plant a few days ago in another part of Sudan too. So this is second attack by RSF on a power plant in recent weeks. That just shows that RSF is definitely losing ground under pressure. It has no presence, no presence on the ground in Gedaref, in Kassala. It was pushed out of another key state a few days ago. But it wants to conduct on strikes to prove that it has the reach to hit Ethiopia, to hit uh, Sudanese military and Sudanese assets under the control of the military, whether the assets are located uh, in Darfur, in Khartoum, or in other parts of the country close to other countries' borders. Thank you for watching.